All right, so we're going to take a look at Sprint Round 2021 chapter, and this is going to be 11 through 19. So here we go. Alicia's new job, she works 3 days a week for a total of 45 hours, and I can't help but say 3 days a week, 45. So that means she's working for 15 hours per day. Then she goes to a new job, or her old job, sorry, and she works 4 days for 40 hours a week. So that means she's working 10 hours per day, and the difference of these is going to be 5 hours. What is the value of x? Yeah, I mean, it's really that simple. Yeah. What is the absolute difference of the average hours? All right, so what is the value of x if x to the power of x is 256? Now, this one, you got to know it has to be something to do with 2, right? Because I know that 2 to the 8th is going to equal to 256. Just 2 times 2 times 2 times, you get the idea. But 2, but 2, 2 and 8, they're not the same number. So I could rewrite this 2 as 2 squared, and then 2 squared, well, then I would have to take it to the 4th power, because when I take a, Carter, this one's for you, because Jack, when I take a exponent to another power, I multiply the exponents, right? So what is 2 squared? 4. So that means that 4 to the 4th power is also going to equal 256. Well, okay, well, our value of x has to be 4. 4. 4.
That's what I said.
Yes. That is definitely what I heard. All right. What is the least positive integer that has 5 distinct primes? So in that case, we just need the 5 primes for the 5 smallest primes, which are 2. That is not what I wanted. Which is 2 times 3 times 5 times 7 times 11.
Wouldn't you be multiplying them independently, or no?
Well, multiplication doesn't matter the order, right? So.
Wouldn't you multiply like 2 of the factors together, like 2 times 11, 3 times 7? Oh, but then you get all different numbers.
Right, and we want a integer where 5 primes, 5 different, that's what distinct means, primes all go into it. So we just multiply the 5 smallest primes together. So 6 times 5 is 30. 30 times 7 is 210. 210 times 11 is going to be, we just have to multiply that out, huh? All right. So times 11. So we get, oh my gosh, dyslexic moment. All right, so we get 0, 1, right here we get 3, 2, there we go. Jasmine estimates her maximum heart rate in beats per minute, and this is a good rule of thumb, that you take 220 and you subtract your age. Now Jasmine happens to be 20, so that means her maximum heart rate is 200. And she wants to know that if 85% of her maximum is what she should be working out at a maximum, how many beats per minute is that? Well, that means, 85% of 200, well, that's just going to be 30 less than 200, so that's 170. And I know it's 30 less than 200 because 85 is 15 away from 100. 200 is twice that. 15 times 2 is 30. All right. The arithmetic mean, just normal mean, of 3 distinct integers is 11. The range of the 3 numbers is 2. So that means the numbers have to be 10, 11, and 12, because it's the only way to have 3 numbers with a range of 2 with an average of 11. So what is the smallest of these numbers? 10. All right. Let A and B equal A times B plus A minus 1. And if A and 7 is 70, what is A and 3? All right, so we need to figure out what A is, right? So I know that the B value is 7, because that's what A comes first, then the and symbol, then the 7. So I'm going to rewrite this whole expression, but instead of b, I'm going to write 7.
7.
So we have 7a plus 7 plus a minus 1 has to equal 70. So that means that 7a plus a is going to be 8a plus 7 minus 1 is 6 has to equal 70. So that means that 8a plus 6 has to equal, sorry, minus 6 minus 6. So we get 8a is equal to 64 divided by 8 divided by 8, and so a is equal to 8. But we're not done yet because we know that a is 8. So now I need to plug this in to my original expression right here. So I know that I have 8 times 3, because b is now 3, plus, I was writing b, plus 3 plus 8 minus 1. So we have 24 plus 3 plus 8 minus 1. 8 minus 1 is 7. 7 plus 3 is 10. So we have 24 plus 10, which is 34. All right. Cody's alarm rings every 11 minutes. That sounds like it's going to get really, really obnoxious. Cody's dad is like, come on, get up. He's going to say something every 15 minutes. So I just kind of made a table here. I'm sure there's a faster way, but I just made a table. So the dad starts at 7:05. So you get 7:05, 7:20, 7:35, and 7:50, which means it's, since the hour repeats and the time repeats, it's going to be every 5, 20, 35, and 50 minutes. So now we need to just see how long it takes to get to one of those digits using 11. So we have 11, 22 minutes, 33 minutes, 44, 55, and then plus 11 is going to be 66. So 66, that's 06, right? Because once we get to 60, we get to an hour, right? So then let's start adding 11 again. So we get 17, going to go up over here. 17 plus 11 is going to be 28. Then we get 39, and then we get, 50. And we know that on every 50 minute now, so that's an hour plus 7:05, right? So that's going to be a total of 8:50. Now, if you can't get up after your alarm is going off for an hour and 50 minutes, I don't know what to tell you. All right, so number 8 is kind of a cool problem involving a quadratic that you have to factor and solve. So here we go. The largest rectangular region is shown partitioned into 3 rectangular regions labeled A, B, and C. The lengths in inches of rectangles A, B, and C are as their C's, as you can see. And all 3 rectangles have a width of n. If the area of rectangle B is 84 inches, what is the perimeter of the largest rectangle shown? So that means that n times n plus 5 has to equal 84, because base times height equals area. So that means that n squared plus 5n minus 84 is equal to 0. To solve a quadratic expression, you have to have it equal to 0 and in factored form. We have our quadratic in expanded form, so we need to factor it. So we're looking for 2 numbers that when you multiply them together, you get 84, and when you you're going to subtract them, you're going to get positive 5. So what 2 numbers go into 84 that are 5 apart?
Because 3 is a multiple of 9, that could probably go into 81. 5 is silly. Well, okay. Probably the 2 closest numbers.
Yeah, it's going to be fair numbers that are fairly close. They're going to be 5 apart. Does 7 go into 84? I think it does. Yeah. Okay. So 7 goes into, so let's do a little quick maths. So 7 goes in once. So are 12 and 7 5 apart?
I think so.
I think so too. Winner, chicken dinner. Now, so that means we have n minus, and this has to be positive, so that means the 12 has to be positive and 7 is negative. N minus 12, plus 12, and that equals 0, so we got that. So that means the solutions to this are going to be 7 and negative 12. Now, is it possible to have a negative side length? No. So I can throw out the negative 12 because that would give me a negative side length. So that means that n is equal to 7. So that means that this is 10. 7 plus 5 is 12. 7 minus 2 is 5. And that means that this is 7. So 10 plus 5 is 15. 15 plus 12 is 27. 27 plus 7 is going to be 34. 34 times 2 is going to be 68. I hope that is the right answer. Yep, it is. All right, look at that. Okay, and oh, this is a cool one. You guys are going to stay for this because this is going to be on a unit test really, really soon for you.
What? This exact question.
Pretty much.
Okay.
All right.
Really good study.
So what is the length of the longest diagonal here? So we're asking what is this length from this corner here to this back corner here. Now we know that the Pythagorean theorem says a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared.
The frogs, fleas, painted cubes one?
No, the one that we're having on Friday. Not tomorrow, but a week from Friday.
What?
Yeah, fun stuff. All right.
This
so
is on Friday?
not tomorrow, a week from Friday.
Oh.
All right. So I could use the Pythagorean theorem to find this distance here, and then once I know this distance here, I can use the Pythagorean theorem here to get this diagonal. But I don't need to do that because as luck would have it,
Geometry is magic.
it is magic. I'm going to call this length from here to here d. So I know in a three-dimensional object, a squared plus b squared plus c squared is going to be equal to d squared. So,
Okay.
all right. So we have 8 squared plus 9 squared plus 12 squared is equal to d squared. So we have 64 plus 81 plus 144 is equal to d squared. So let's add these together
And square root it.
and square
I
root
knew
it.
that.
All right, so
Feels
6
like
is
some practical joke, like, what's a squared plus b squared?
c squared. So,
That was not that funny.
good joke, I like it. All right, 64 plus 81 is,
Number.
I think it is 145. 145 plus 44, 144 is 289 is equal to d squared, so square root, and the square root of 289 is 17.
That.
It's
Pretend
17.
like I said that.
It's 17. All right, last one. Suppose there's an 80% chance of rain each day, and on days that it rains, Kathy has 40% chance of being late. So what are the chances? So I have to multiply those together. So we are going to go 80 times 45. So 8 times 5 is going to be 40. Carry the 4. 8 times 4 is 32, plus 4 is 36. So 36% of the time she's going to be late because it is raining, and that's what happens with her. On the other side of the spectrum, she is 30% late when it does not rain, and it only does not rain 20%. So 30 times 20, that's going to be 6% of the time she's going to be late because, well, it's not raining. So 36 plus 6 is 42% of the time she will be late. Now, I'm telling you right now, if you are late 42% of the time for your job, you are not going to have that job very long.